Good morning. So, today in Principles of Management, we are going to learn about leadership. Okay. Uh, by the end of this topic, you should be able to describe the term what is leadership, differentiate between the role of managers and a leader, compare between three leader centered approaches, describe the meaning of the follower centered leadership, and explain the approaches and models related to initiative leadership, and discuss the style of contemporary leadership. Okay, so what is leadership? Leadership is a process of influencing other people to achieve group or organizational goal. Okay, so what is a leadership? Leadership is a process of influencing, how you are influencing people to achieve a group or an organizational objective or goal. Leaders are different from managers. They are very distinct than that of a managers can be head of their role, or have a certain power and jurisdictions, but they can all managers cannot be leaders. Okay, leaders have a distinct characteristics altogether. All right. So the main difference that are that leaders emphasize on the quality of work, so that the treatment given is fair, and has a long run focus, in more inclined towards the changes, and gives inspiration, and is able to motivate other people in overcoming the problems. So a leader in actual focuses and emphasizes more on quality of work, and treats everybody with fairness, and has a long run focus. Leader has a foresightedness and a long run focus that is to be achieved, and is more inclined towards the change, leaders are more acceptable and are more accepting in changes, and gives inspiration to motivate people in overcoming their problems and achieving the ultimate goal. Okay. Now, meanwhile, a manager emphasizes more on performing a work in a correct way, and has a short run focus. So it maintains the status quo act, and to solve other people's problem in a short time. While now there's a figure here which illustrates difference between manager and a leader. A manager will be efficient in achieving the short run objectives, will have a status quo uh, in the situation in the organization. Means suppose there's an HR, job in his domain only, and he will not go for changes. He will not adopt for new area work areas. All right. Whereas now HR will have a short term, suppose this manager will have a short term running objectives, like what we have to do in this week, what we have to do in the next week. That is a short run objectives that a managers will be managing with short periodicity. Now then the methods will be completely professional, and will be approached in a way that will have a formal approach to the employers and the subordinates. Okay, and a manager believes in executing the work and actual ground. Okay, so how will you execute these works? You will be able to execute these works only if you have a status quo relations, and you have a short run objective to be achieved. Then you are a problem solver of those no, objectives that is coming for attaining the objective, whatever the problems which is coming as an hindrance. That is the only problem you're going to solve, instead of seeing it for a longer run. Whereas a leader is an effective and promotes changes, has a long run vision, and inspires and motivate others to participate in it. Okay. Now, leadership approaches, there are many leadership approaches, among which one is leader centric approach. This approach is focus uh, on the personality feature of the leader and the behavior of a leader and leadership style. Okay, so this type of approach has is primarily focusing and featuring the personality of a leader. Like whatever the personality of a leader is, that is the prime focus. All right, in this the personality feature of a leader and the focus towards the leadership behavior are the key considerations. Okay, so consideration behavior and structural behavior is there. Then we have consideration behavior or employee oriented behavior. Okay, and then we have managerial grit by Black Mount approaches has explained what is a leader. And lastly, we have a leadership style. There are very varied leadership style of approaches. Now consideration behavior and structural behavior studies, it had been studied in the Ohio State University. And according to Rue in 2000, several series of studies on in relationship were conducted by their university to obtain summary regarding the most important and effective behavior to successful leaders. Okay, so these studies have found that two consistent and important behavior of the leaders, that are consideration behavior and structural behavior, are referred to as a leader showing feelings for consideration towards a member of a group or a subordinate and fulfills their needs. Okay, meanwhile a structural behavior refers to the leader showing feelings for subordinate and guiding them towards goal achievement. Then this has found that the leaders with a high level of consideration are more inclined towards satisfying the subordinates compared to the leaders with low level of consideration. Like for example, the appointment and the termination of all employees are at the lowest level, while work satisfaction is at the highest level under the supervision of a leader with high consideration behavior. So means it means you are employing less and you have more job satisfaction under a leadership. So this means that people are leaving, or you the or somebody is asked to leave the organization in less intensity compared to the other companies, and the people who are working in this company are more satisfied in working with it. All right. So the correlation between the consideration behavior and the effectiveness of a leader depends on the group lead. Okay. So a high achievement of consideration behavior relates to positive and high efficiency of leaders such as managers and office staff in a large industrial firms. While high achievement of consideration behavior correlates negatively with the effectiveness of a leader, such as production engineer. The production engineer, if you have a more inclination towards considering your employees, sometimes what happens is your production may fall short, or you may have a employee who is leastly concerned of working and can come up with any what do you call consideration points to be considered. Now this is no association of relationship between structural behavior and effectiveness of a leader, but the relationship is dependent upon and the group lead it. Okay, now this is the association. So high structure and high consideration will give to high low uh, resignation or low what do you call recruitment processes and high satisfaction. Okay, so this is a image which is showing the structure of how the consideration behavior and with behavior interacts with the structural behavior. Now, consideration behavior or employee oriented behavior studied in Michigan University states that this, the consideration behavior and the structural behavior are exclusively and separate behavior. Both these behaviors are on the same continuum, but at the opposite end of the working. So the conclusion of this study was that the leaders who are inclined towards feeling of a consideration must reduce the structural considerations. Okay, so you cannot satisfy both the requirements. You can, if you are more inclined towards satisfying your employees, you have to reconsider your organization's consideration first, and first you have to serve your employees. Now behavior and vice versa will happen for the leaders who are inclined towards work. They need to reduce the consideration for behavior relationships with the employees, because it results in conflicts again. So you can only satisfy, if you satisfy the organization's consideration, then you have to let go of the behavioral human aspect of consideration. Now, managerial grit by Blake and Mount. According to Rowe, he said that Robert Blake and Jane Mount, produce a method of classifying the style of leaders management referred to as a managerial grit. It is also known as the leadership grid. The managerial grid use a two-dimensional framework in providing status to the leaders based on consideration towards people with consideration towards product, in forming the five different styles of leadership. Both behaviors are on the same scale of 1 to 9, with 1 representing the lowest value and the 9 representing the highest value, as depicted in the figure which is going to come up now. Blake and Mount has suggested that the position of the leader at the matrix of 9 into 9 is the best. But they name it as a style of leadership as a team management. Leaders at the matrix of 9 into 1 uh, shows a style of authoritarian management, that the workers follow orders when they have high consideration and production and low consideration on people. Okay, so leaders who are at the mix of 1 into 9 are the leaders who are concerned in creating happy and friendly working condition, but do not give more importance and focus towards production or performance. This is known as the leadership style of the of a club, for example. For a country club management, the weakest leadership style is based on the grit, and is the improvised leadership style, that is at matrix 1 into 1. The leaders at the position do not care about the employees and production, but instead he only performs his work as a minimum level. So finally, the leadership style that has a middle or matrix of a 5 into 5 is a leader who shows moderate consider towards the employees and the production. Okay, so the illustration will be more clear in the image here. So now what is happening here? When you have low consideration, you will have for any production and the people, you have improvised leadership. Then you have a little higher, that is 5 into 5, where it is more middle level consideration. And when you have high level of it is more like a authoritarian consideration, 1 into 9. See, 1 into 9 is an authoritarian, and 9 into 9 is a more liberal type of consideration, which is considered the most effective way of leadership. The leadership style, after the three studies that focuses on the personality feature of a leader, researchers shifted their focus by conducting a study related to behavior of a leader or a leadership style. Now, leadership style refers to the behavior exhibited by a leader when dealing with subordinates, and the leadership style can differentiate in a decision making. There are three types of leadership styles, namely autocratic, laissez-faire, and democratic are some of the styles of leadership. Generally, autocratic leadership makes more decisions for the group. Okay. Meanwhile, laissez-faire leadership allows the member of the group to make all the decisions. Okay. And democratic leader, on the other hand, guides and encourages the group to make a decision. All right. So it is like a nominal way of making decisions. No, normally most leaders do not follow just one type of leadership style. These three style of leadership will have different feedback from problems related to human beings at a different situation. Okay. Now, follower centered approach. What is a follower centered approach? Is according to Levi's, uh, self leadership is a creating a leader for organization who are ready to lead themselves. Even though leadership is important, the successor variables of leadership and leadership neutralization creates a situation where leadership is no longer needed. A performance of a leadership will not bring sufficient effect on the performance. The leader successors are variables such as individual tasks and regularizations, a feature that can cause leaders to be necessary, or in other words, those variables that are able to exceed the ability of leaders in an effective satisfaction and performance of our subordinates. Meanwhile, leadership neutralizations are variables such as employee task and organization features that intervenes with work action of the leader, or create a different situation for a leader to influence the performance of a follower. Okay. Now, interactive approach. What is an interactive approach here? In order to study the effectiveness of a leadership in a particular organization, another method used is by looking at the way a particular leader interacts with his followers, basically. All right. So when either directly or indirectly, uh, it is referred to that if a interaction is more situational based model, or these are the models of interactive uh, approach to the leadership, where you are interacting with your followers and based on situation. Then you have contingency based model. Then you have path goal model. Okay. And leaders behavior model. Okay. Now, these leaders behavior model, path goal model, contingency model, and fiddler and situational model all have a different approach to define leadership. Now let's take one by one situational leadership model. Now, what happens in situational leadership model is that uh, it is known as the leadership life cycle model. It was introduced by Paul Hensley and Kent Burkhardt. So Paul Hensley and Kent Burkhardt, this model is based on assuming that leadership style should portray the maturity level of our subordinates. All right. The models study this interaction between behavior, relation, leadership, situation, or condition and competency of the followers. So, competency here is defined as the ability of the subordinates and their commitment towards completing a specific task. All right. This task behavior and relationship behavior in this model, when the level of maturity of a follower increases, the task behavior must be reduced, while the relationship between behavior must be increasing with the later gradual time. So task based here in this eventually increases, this relationship increases as a situation, as long as you are with the uh, organization for say. Okay, so that is what task based leadership is. Now subordinates maturity portrays that you the more time you have given, more mature you will be in dealing with that. Suppose you are specialized in certain thing and you are placed in some other department where you have an idea how it works and functioning, but you have never worked. So your maturity of doing that work will be less, right? So here, maturity means that uh, knowledge or of implementing that in the field. All right. So maturity is the more you are living with that situation. So with eventually with crossing period of time, if you are placed into a department which is not your major, but for a very long time you are working with that department, you get to know the working condition for functionary of that department, and your maturity levels also increases. Then this model suggests that when the maturity level of a follower changes from immature to mature, the behavior of a leader also changes from high task behavior to low relation task relationship behavior. So it is like when you are new to a department or a center where you are still learning, so there are many tasks which will be given to you so that you learn it step by step. So it will be more like task oriented work. But as the things time changes, it will start changing it into a task oriented to behavior, high task oriented to relationship oriented behavior, until the fourth that is a slow task behavior or a low relationship behavior. The model then combined the task behavior and the relationship behavior to create four different relationship styles: telling or directing styles, selling or coaching style, participating or supporting style, and delegating style are one of the styles of leadership qualities according to interactive base. Now, according to Williams, the maturity of a follower consists of a task maturity and the psychological maturity. So, situational leadership models are like telling or directing a style of leadership is suitable for an employee having the lowest level of maturity. For example, level of maturity leaders only have to give encouragement to employees in completing their task. A suitable leadership style for this situation is the style of selling or coaching your leadership quality. For example, those who are matured, improvised, and making the decision together are two-way communication, and then the participation or supporting style of leadership is considered the most valuable. Meanwhile, the delegation system of leadership is situated or employees have the highest level of maturity. This figure is showing that the literature of the situational leadership, what is happening in delegation, what happens in facilitating, what it happens, and in selling out your any property or your any belonging, will have a different leadership behavior, or high task relationship leader behavior will come out from telling and directing, right? Now, Fiedler's contingency theory. What is Fiedler's contingency theory? According to William, the theory is one of the earliest study using the contingency approach. It was introduced by Fiedler, all right, and he studied the favorableness and between the leader's personality feature with the situational consideration. Now, Fiedler suggests two personality features, namely task motivation and relation. Motivation. Fiddler's view of situational leadership on a continuum, favorableness or unfavorableness, based on the three main dimensions: leader subordination, that leadership subordinates, relationship, relations, tasks, structure, and composition and position of a power. Now, leader and member relations refers to the degree to which the leader feel accepted by the followers. Right. Now, the task structure is a degree to which the goal and other factors are outlined, clearly. Position in power is the second extent with which the leaders has control over the reward and punishment of the followers. Right. Now, this theory is based on, sorry, just a minute. Behavioral conditions and leaders. Okay, so this is next is path goal theory. Path goal theory is, according to Williams, this theory is conducted by Martin Evans. Okay, so and Robert House uh, accompanied Martin Evans and postulated a theory that stated that a leader is able to increase the satisfaction and performance of her or his subordinates by explaining and setting up the path towards the behavioral growth. Okay, by increasing the members and forms of reward, followed by the achievement of the goal, but it is also driven by the goal achievement. Now, in this figure, it illustrates the framework of a path goal orientation for motivating. The characteristics of a follower. What is the key characteristic of a follower? That has to be a consideration mark. Then environmental factors, whether it is a favorable environment or not, that has to be studied. Then you have to have compatibility with the directive, supportive, participative, achievement oriented behavior towards the leader. Then we have goal and performance of the following, that is, what are the ultimate goal is and how do you perform in it. That is the main guidelines to be driven on. All right. The subordinates will accept the behavior of a leader when it comes to the source of a current and future satisfaction. The behavior of a leader influences the motivation of subordinates, since satisfying towards the needs of the subordinates is associated closely with the performance success. So in motivation, I have already told you, until unless your basic needs are not satisfied, you will not be driven to work for it. Okay. So preparation, support, and re- reward requires to achieve an effective performance. You will find that that in this universe the theory are for types of behavior so far by a leader. Now, these four types of behavior will be discussed in the table below. Therefore, this theory assumes that the leader is able to change and suit his style for leadership according to the subordinates. Okay, so according to the subordinates, the leaders is willing to change. All right. So here, this is the table here: directive behavior, superative behavior. Then you have what do you call it? Participatory behavior and achievement behavior. We have next is continuum of leadership. So continuum of leaders are like, according to Ryu and Robert Tanman, and Warren Smith, believed that the different situation requires different leadership style. They consider three important forces that are related to finding the most effective leadership style for that is faces within the leaders of the present era. All right, it in right, to write down, basically having a higher control and give a slight freedom to the subordinates. Leaders behave in a middle to continuum. Continue depicts as larger leadership qualities. Now, style of um, autocracy, because where the power is in the hand of a one person or a board of member, few board of member. The leader behavior on the right shows the leader control in the surface of the subordinates and having to form a making up a decision. All right. Yeah. So directive behavior, supportive behavior, and participatory behavior. All right. Now, continuum we have done. Now, strategic leadership. What is a strategic leadership? A strategic leadership is, according to Williams, strategic leadership refers to the competency of a leader to make prediction and retaining flexibility, thinking strategy, having visionary ideas, and cooperating with others in forming a positive figure from the organization. The strategic leadership refers to the way of leaders that are able to change the attitude of a employee in order to achieve the goal. So how do you influence your employees and your colleagues? You need to be a good orator, and you have to be motivated enough to achieve that goal. Okay, then we have visionary leadership, that is um how do you vision your future, how do you vision a particular task. That is a visionary leadership. Is leadership style that is able to create positive image for the future of the organization by motivating employees and able to depict the directions. Then we have what do you call uh, uh, charismatic leadership, where you require a person, a leadership characteristics to be very charismatic, where you are tall and you carry yourself well. So that type of leadership is called charismatic leadership. All right. Now, it refers to the features of leaders in creating a strong relationship between themselves and subordinates. Okay. The charismatic leadership leads a leader having high level of reference forces. Half of the forces come from his need to influence others. Okay. Now, this type of leadership has a high level of self coincidences and is dominant and believe in the truth of everything that a person is doing. Now, he is capable of convincing the followers that he is right. He is also able to change their vision to be shared together with the with other subordinates, right? So in a strategic leadership, what we have is, we have visionary leadership, a leadership style that is able to create positive image, then for a future of our organization by motivating the employees. So we, in a visionary, you need to motivate employees, and you want to see each employee to reach some goal points, right? And that is what a visionary leadership is. Where you want to take, where you want to take your organization, where you want to take your leadership status. All right. So the direction of the organization is based on upon planning and making a goal that achieve the goal or objective that is set up by the organization. Okay. Charismatic, we have talked. Again, I will repeat. It refers to the features of the leaders in creating a huge relationship between the leader and the subordinates. Okay, so um, you, when you in field, you must have seen there are many people in the department, for say of yours. They are very juvenile, they are very outgoing, and they are very readily and easily able to give advice and convince people of doing certain things. So how do they do and convince them to achieve certain goal? So by boosting them through what? Through uh, you do not have to have been there physically, but you can be supportive as a mental support or other things. You have to start believing that whatever he is doing right, so you have to let it go. So half of the force comes from the you know in education institution. Most of the forces of manpower is come through the classes that we are running, the programs which are running. So half of the forces from these needs to be influenced by others. Now this type of leader has a high level of confidence and is dominated and believed in the truth in everything the other person does, all right, or the other organization does. So this is like you are in a short, you are carried away completely by a leader's persona. So by to say this, that charismatic leadership, you are following a leader by its persona, all right. Now transactional leaders will determine what should be done by the employees to what you are mm, uh, let me say in a more correct put it in a more correct manner. A transactional leaders will determine what should be done by the employees, how, where you want to place them, what do you want them to do, which activity you want to specifically give. That is what a transactional, when you have a to and fro relationship, like in a production line, a production manager or a leader will give a particular job owners to a particular person, that you are responsible of doing this, and it is interested in on that person, so he is entrusting that person to lead the work, okay, like team leaders, all right. So it is determined by what should be done by an employee to achieve their ultimate goal, by setting up their own objectives within the setup organization. They also classify and aid employees to be confident, so that they are able to achieve the objective through certain efforts. Now, this type of leadership is based on process of exchanging, right? Where the subordinates are given rewards for a good achievement, good work, and punishment for unsatisfactory work, or not working at all. All right. So then we have transference leadership. Here in this leadership, it is transparent leaderships are capable of enlightening and accepting the suggestions and vision of the group, and are able to encourage employees to look beyond their own needs. Okay, it is basically encouraged that you should look beyond what you require personally, all right. Now transformational leaders will motivate their employees to perform more and accept by the initiating the feelings of a importance, value of a task in reaching the individual and ultimate goal. Okay, now this can be done by creating interest in employees to perform organization, besides fulfilling their own needs of achievement, right. So in transformational leadership, you are capable of enlightening and expecting suggestions from the members, the followers, and letting them to take a charge for a short period of time. That is a transformer. Sometimes what you do is, you ultimately say ki, okay, you tell me what should be done in this situation. So you let the command for a temporary period to be given to a particular person, to make you understand what that a particular objective can be achieved with. Okay, so this covers that leaders are different from managers, and in many differences, that the leaders emphasize more on performing task effectively, while managers emphasize more on performing a task efficiently or correctly. One is doing an effective work, where you just need to do work as far as it is effective and productive. Whereas in a manager will say ki you have to work efficiently and properly in a proper framework of that is given by the organization. A leader centered approach focuses on personality features of a leader and leader behavior and leadership style. Okay. Then we have main results of the study on a person, personality feature of a leader found that the successful leader usually have certain personal personal features or persona that are better than to compare with other followers. So you will have a distinct feature and persona that is keeping you away from the group and keep giving you a distinct characteristics. So on a leadership behavior, there are 3 point study that are discussed, namely the study conducted in Ohio State University, Michigan University, and marginal grit study are some of the leadership behavior study which was conducted. Now, the three study lined with two main, dimension portraying the behavior of a leader, namely the dimension and task dimension and relation dimension. On the other hand, the leadership style associated with decision making gave rise to three forms of leadership style that are popularly known as autocratic system style, leisure affair style, and democratic style of leadership. Okay. Then we have follower centered approach that are also referred as the self leadership, is a paradigm that is based on the presence of a leader in an organization who are ready to lead their own self and taken in charge, take up their own owners and in charge. Meanwhile, the interactive approach is related to the study between leader behavior and the situation and the favorableness of a follower. Okay. In this approach, the four main models, such as leadership situation model, path goal model, fiddler's contingency model, and continuum leaders of a behavior model, has been discussed. All right. Then finally, at the end, several competent competitory leadership style, that is the strategic leadership involving visionary leadership, charismatic leadership, transitional leadership, and transformational leadership are also we have discussed in details in this chapter. Okay. So all in all, leadership is a quality, either it is attained or it is learned. Okay. So this finishes off our chapter leadership, and I would request all of you to go to the LMS and take up the quiz. Okay. See you tomorrow. Have a nice day.